Have you ever wondered how often we rely on the people closest to us, trusting they'll be there to catch us every time we fall? How many times have you thought to yourself, "One day my children will take care of me, just as I took care of them"? Or maybe you've wondered if your well-being in old age could be tied to the love and loyalty of your family. But let's be honest. Life doesn't always play out as we hope, does it? We think we're building a future where our children will be there for us, yet what if that future doesn't look the way we envisioned? Imagine it like this. Relying on the affection of others for your happiness or security is like building a house on sand. It might look strong, but when the tide of life comes crashing in, it doesn't stand a chance. Or think of it as putting all your energy into a friendship where the other person's heart just isn't in it. No matter how much effort you put in, there's no guarantee it'll last. Ask yourself, have you ever felt uneasy about depending on others for your peace and security? Deep down, we all sense the risk, yet we push it aside, hoping that things will work out. But what if that dependency ends up making life harder instead of easier? The Stoics taught us a simple truth. We cannot control others, not even those closest to us. What we can control, however, is how we approach our own needs, emotions, and expectations. As Epictetus would say, happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. Are you ready to rethink what it means to feel secure, fulfilled, and content in later years? Are you willing to prepare yourself for a future where you can be at peace, no matter what others do or don't do for you? In today's video, we'll explore the Stoic approach to old age, why self-reliance is essential, and how we can reframe our expectations to find lasting contentment. And stick around until the end for a powerful Stoic insight that could just change how you view your relationships altogether. If this resonates with you, make sure to like and subscribe. Join us as we dive into the Stoic principles that can lead to a more empowered and fulfilling life. Number 1. The invisible burden. Have you ever caught yourself in that silent thought, wondering if relying on your children later in life is really as safe as it seems? There's this common story we're sold, that family will always be there, especially in old age. It's a comforting thought, wrapped in the warmth of loyalty and love. But deep down, there's a whisper of uncertainty. What if that expectation leads you down a road of regret? The truth is, depending on anyone, yes, even your children, can bring a heavy burden. One that's invisible but weighs on both sides. And Stoicism teaches us to confront this reality without the rose-tinted glasses society often gives us. Some think it's only natural to expect support from their children. It's like a repayment for all the sacrifices made along the way. But here's where it gets tricky, that reliance can quickly turn from support into dependency, from love into expectation, and sometimes expectation into resentment. It's an invisible burden, one that grows heavier with each passing year, and it's often the unspoken reason why some families find themselves fractured, struggling under the weight of unfulfilled roles and silent expectations. Picture dependency as a thread slowly binding you tighter and tighter. At first, it's hardly noticeable, but little by little, those threads multiply, until one day you realize you're completely entangled. And when you're bound like that, the freedom to live life on your own terms fades. Your peace, your dignity, can be eroded by expectations you never even knew you had. So, what's the alternative? Stoicism tells us that our power lies in self-reliance, in cultivating resilience that doesn't depend on anyone else to feel secure. This isn't about rejecting your children or distancing yourself from them. It's about ensuring your peace isn't hinged on the actions of others. Just like the Stoics, who believed that inner strength must be independent of external circumstances, we, too, can find that strength by building a life we control, even as we age. Imagine creating a life where your well-being doesn't rest in someone else's hands. Start by acknowledging the truth. No matter how much love exists, your children have their own lives, their own struggles. By expecting them to shoulder our burdens, we may unintentionally place a weight on their lives that they never asked to carry. And that weight, it can erode relationships, breeding frustration, and sometimes distance. If you build your life in a way that's grounded in your own resilience, you protect not just your peace, but also the love you share with your children. As Epictetus taught, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. True freedom comes from lightening your load, from making sure that as you grow older, you're not placing your happiness or your survival in anyone else's hands. At the end of the day, it's about choice. You can wait, hoping that your children will be the rock you lean on. Or you can take the Stoic path, choosing self-reliance over dependence, ensuring that the bond with your children stays one of love, unburdened by the weight of obligation. After all, what's better, relying on someone and losing the connection, or freeing them to be there out of love rather than duty? Number 2. The invisible weight of expectations. Have you ever found yourself feeling let down by others, frustrated that they just don't meet your expectations? Maybe it's a friend who didn't show up when you needed them, or family who couldn't understand you the way you hoped. That feeling of disappointment can be overwhelming, almost like carrying around a weight no one else sees. And here's the truth. A lot of that weight comes from our own expectations. It's a burden we create, a silent pressure that often does more harm to us than to anyone else. Many people believe that expecting certain things from loved ones is only natural. After all, isn't that what relationships are about? But as much as expectations can seem justified, they can just as easily become a prison. With each expectation, we build walls around ourselves, and before we know it, we're trapped, weighed down by the things we wanted but never received. Imagine this. You're standing with a heavy backpack, and every unfulfilled expectation is another stone added to that bag. At first, it's manageable. A small weight here and there doesn't feel like much. But over time, the stones pile up, and suddenly you're carrying a load so heavy it affects every step you take. That invisible weight, it's draining your energy, your peace, your joy, and it's holding you back from living freely. So, what's the answer? Stoicism offers us a way out. It teaches us to let go of those expectations, to stop attaching our happiness to what others do or don't do. Instead of waiting for someone else to fulfill our needs or meet our standards, we can find peace by focusing on what we can control, our own actions, our own mindset. It's about recognizing that while we can't control others, we can control how we react. And by letting go of expectations, we free ourselves from disappointment. Think of your life as a journey, one where you choose what to carry and what to leave behind. If expectations are stones weighing you down, why not set them aside? With every expectation you release, you walk a little lighter, breathe a little easier. You gain the freedom to appreciate people for who they are, rather than who you wish they'd be. And when you let go of expecting others to meet your every need, you open yourself up to a kind of love and peace that doesn't hinge on anyone else. As Marcus Aurelius said, accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. In letting go of expectations, you make space for true connection, for relationships that are free from hidden pressures and the weight of disappointment. In the end, the invisible weight of expectations is something only we can set down. It's a choice, to release the burden and live with lightness, to let go and let others be who they are. And in that letting go, we find something precious, a peace that isn't shaken by the actions of others, and a joy that comes from within. Number 3. Shifting family roles over generations. Have you ever noticed how different family roles look today compared to just a generation ago? What used to be the norm, children taking on responsibilities, supporting their parents, and following a set family path, has evolved into something far less predictable. These shifting roles reveal an unspoken truth. Family dynamics aren't fixed. They change with each generation, shaped by society, culture, and the choices we make. And while change can bring freedom, it can also stir up confusion and conflict. Stoicism offers us a way to approach these changes with resilience and clarity, helping us navigate new expectations without getting lost in them. Think back to your grandparents or even your parents. In many families, roles were straightforward. Parents provided, children obeyed, and everyone had a clearly defined place. But now, with changing social norms and more individualistic values, the lines are blurred. Children grow up and live farther from home, grandparents play different roles, and parents sometimes find themselves without the same support they once expected. These shifts, while natural, can create feelings of isolation or disappointment for those who rely on traditional family roles. Imagine family roles as a dance. For generations, everyone followed the same steps, moving in sync. But now, with everyone choosing their own rhythm, there's a mix of harmony and missteps. And when we expect the old dance to continue, it's easy to feel out of place, unsure of where we belong. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control the choices of others, we can find peace by adapting to reality as it is, rather than how we think it should be. By accepting the evolution of family roles, we free ourselves from the frustration of unmet expectations. Instead of clinging to old patterns, we can focus on building relationships based on mutual respect, letting go of the rigid roles that may no longer serve us. So what does this mean for family today? It means choosing flexibility over tradition, letting go of the idea that family has to look a certain way. It's about connecting with our loved ones as they are now, without demanding they fit into a role that might not suit them, and in doing so, we make space for a new kind of family bond, one that's defined by choice, respect, and understanding, rather than obligation or expectation. As Epictetus taught, seek not that the things which happen should happen as you wish, but wish the things which happen to be as they are, and you will have a tranquil flow of life. By embracing family changes and letting go of rigid expectations, we open ourselves to a peace that flows with, rather than against, the shifting tides of time. Number 4. Technology as a tool for independence. Have you ever marveled at how technology has transformed our lives? From smartphones that connect us instantly to online resources that empower us to learn new skills, technology has become a powerful tool for independence. But as we embrace these advancements, it's crucial to understand how to use them wisely and thoughtfully. Through the lens of Stoic philosophy, we can see that technology, when approached with intention, can enhance our lives and grant us the freedom to pursue our true potential. In the past, independence often meant self-sufficiency, relying solely on personal resources and skills. But today, technology allows us to extend our reach far beyond what was previously possible. Need information? A few clicks and you can access a world of knowledge. Want to learn a new skill? Online courses are available at your fingertips. Technology has dismantled barriers, giving us the tools to shape our own destinies. Yet with this power comes responsibility. Imagine technology as a double-edged sword. On one side, it can liberate us, opening doors to opportunities we never thought possible. On the other side, it can ensnare us in distractions and dependencies that undermine our independence. The key lies in how we choose to wield this tool. Stoicism teaches us the importance of self-control and intentionality. We must ask ourselves, are we using technology to enhance our lives, or are we allowing it to dictate our choices? It's easy to get lost in the scroll of social media or binge-watch countless hours of entertainment, but these distractions can divert us from our goals and aspirations. By being mindful of how we engage with technology, we can reclaim our independence. Start by setting clear boundaries. Designate specific times for work, learning, and leisure. Use apps and tools that promote productivity and keep you focused on your goals. For example, if you want to learn a new language, find an app that encourages daily practice and commit to it. By harnessing technology to support your aspirations, you create a more structured and fulfilling routine. Additionally, consider the value of technology in building connections. In a world where physical distance can separate us, technology allows us to maintain relationships that enrich our lives. Video calls, messaging apps, and social networks can help us stay connected to friends and family, providing a support system that enhances our independence. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca noted, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. With technology at our disposal, we can create our own luck. By preparing ourselves, learning new skills, staying informed, and connecting with others, we can seize the opportunities that arise, leading to a more independent and fulfilling life. Ultimately, technology should serve as a means to empower us, not enslave us. By using it wisely, we can cultivate our independence, enhance our capabilities, and foster connections that enrich our lives. In the end, true independence is not just about self-sufficiency, it's about harnessing the tools available to us to create the life we envision. Embrace technology as your ally and watch as it opens doors to a world of possibilities, allowing you to walk your own path with confidence and purpose. Number 5. Financial independence brings freedom. Have you ever felt the weight of financial stress? The nagging worry about bills, debts, or the next paycheck? It's a heavy burden that can cloud our minds and limit our choices. But what if I told you that financial independence could unlock a door to freedom you never knew existed? It's not just about having a hefty bank balance. It's about reclaiming your life, your time, and your peace of mind. And through the lens of Stoic philosophy, we can see how financial independence offers not just security, but the freedom to live on our own terms. In today's fast-paced world, many people find themselves trapped in a cycle of working just to pay bills. It's a reality that keeps us from pursuing our passions, spending time with loved ones, or even taking a moment to breathe. The more we depend on a paycheck, the more we might feel like we're tied to a system that doesn't truly serve us. Financial independence, on the other hand, gives us the ability to break free from this cycle. It's the liberation that comes from knowing you're not chained to your job or defined by your financial struggles. Imagine waking up each day, not out of obligation, but out of choice. That's the power of financial independence. It allows you to decide how to spend your time, whether it's pursuing a passion project, volunteering, or simply enjoying the little moments in life. And this isn't just about having a lot of money. It's about managing what you have wisely, making conscious choices, and building a life that reflects your values. Stoicism teaches us that true wealth isn't about the external riches we accumulate, but the internal peace we cultivate. By focusing on what we can control, our spending habits, our saving strategies, and our mindset, we can gradually pave our way toward financial freedom. The Stoics believed in living according to nature and not being overly attached to material possessions. This approach can help us make better financial decisions, freeing us from the pressure to keep up with societal expectations. So how do you begin this journey to financial independence? Start by taking small, manageable steps. Create a budget that reflects your values, cut unnecessary expenses, and prioritize saving. Each step you take is a step closer to freeing yourself from the invisible chains of financial stress. And remember, it's not about instant wealth. It's about building a sustainable future that allows you to live life on your own terms. As Seneca wisely said, wealth is the slave of a wise man, the master of a fool. In other words, when you master your finances, you gain the power to live freely and authentically. And that freedom is worth every effort. In the end, financial independence isn't just a number in your bank account. It's a mindset and a way of life. By embracing this journey, you'll find that the real treasure lies not in what you have, but in the freedom to be who you are, to choose your path, and to live a life filled with purpose and joy. Number 6. The cost of pleasing everyone. Have you ever felt the pressure to make everyone happy? That nagging feeling that if you don't meet others' expectations, you might disappoint them or even lose their approval. It's a common struggle in a world that often values conformity and acceptance over authenticity. But what if I told you that the cost of trying to please everyone could be greater than you ever imagined? Through the lens of Stoic philosophy, we can uncover the freedom that comes from prioritizing our own values over the approval of others. Imagine standing on a tightrope, balancing the opinions and expectations of everyone around you. Each step feels precarious, and the fear of falling grows with every request you try to accommodate. In reality, this is the burden many of us carry. We often think that by pleasing others, we'll foster good relationships and find acceptance. But the truth is that this constant striving can lead to anxiety, resentment, and a loss of self. When we prioritize others' approval over our own needs and values, we risk losing sight of who we truly are. Think about it. When was the last time you made a decision solely based on what someone else wanted? It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking external validation, believing it will bring us happiness. Yet, in doing so, we may compromise our integrity and sense of self, leaving us feeling empty and unfulfilled. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control how others perceive us or what they want from us. The Stoics emphasized the importance of living in accordance with our own principles and values. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By focusing on what truly matters to us, we can cultivate a sense of peace that is impervious to the shifting opinions of others. So, how do we break free from the cycle of people-pleasing? Start by identifying your core values. What do you stand for? What brings you joy and fulfillment? When you anchor yourself in your values, it becomes easier to make decisions that align with who you are, even if they might not please everyone. Next, practice setting boundaries. Remember that it's okay to say no. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It simply means you're honoring your own needs and priorities. By setting clear boundaries, you protect your time and energy, allowing you to invest in what truly matters to you. As you navigate this journey, be gentle with yourself. Change takes time, and the fear of disappointing others can be daunting. However, the Stoics remind us that the only opinion we should be concerned with is our own. When we live authentically, we attract those who appreciate us for who we are, rather than who we pretend to be. In the end, the cost of pleasing everyone is often far too high. By prioritizing our values and learning to say no, we reclaim our autonomy and build a life that reflects our true selves. Embrace the freedom that comes from letting go of the need for constant approval. Life is too short to live for others. Instead, strive to live in alignment with your own principles, and you'll find a deeper, more genuine connection to yourself and those who matter most. Number 7. Accepting life's uncertainties. Have you ever found yourself gripped by anxiety over the unknown? That feeling of dread when you realize life doesn't always go according to plan. It's a common struggle, one that can keep us up at night, worrying about what might happen next. But what if embracing uncertainty could lead to greater freedom and peace? Through the lens of Stoic philosophy, we can learn that accepting life's uncertainties isn't just a survival tactic. It's a pathway to resilience and a fuller, more fulfilling life. We live in a world where the desire for control is ingrained in us. We want to plan every detail, predict every outcome, and ensure that everything unfolds just as we envision. But the reality is that life is inherently unpredictable. No matter how much we try to control our circumstances, unexpected events will always occur, whether it's a sudden job loss, an illness, or a personal crisis. These uncertainties can feel overwhelming, but they also offer us a unique opportunity to grow and adapt. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean. The waves crash unpredictably, pulling you in different directions. You can choose to fight against the tide, straining to maintain your footing. Or you can learn to navigate the waves, letting them guide you instead of resisting them. This metaphor captures the essence of accepting life's uncertainties. The Stoics believed that while we can't control the waves, we can control how we respond to them. When we embrace uncertainty, we release the tight grip we have on our expectations. This doesn't mean we stop planning or caring about our goals. Rather, it means we open ourselves up to the possibility that things may not turn out as we hope. By shifting our focus from trying to predict the future to being present in the moment, we can cultivate a sense of peace that allows us to handle whatever comes our way. Here's where Stoicism can guide us. The Stoics taught that our happiness is not dependent on external circumstances, but on our internal mindset. When faced with uncertainty, we can ask ourselves, what can I control in this situation? Often, it's our attitude, our reactions, and our willingness to adapt. By accepting that uncertainty is a natural part of life, we can better equip ourselves to handle challenges with grace and courage. Life's uncertainties can also be a source of excitement and possibility. Each unknown holds the potential for new experiences, growth, and adventure. Instead of viewing uncertainty as a threat, we can learn to see it as an opportunity for transformation. Every twist and turn in life's journey can lead us to unexpected places, broadening our horizons and enriching our lives in ways we never anticipated. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By accepting life's uncertainties, we empower ourselves to respond with resilience rather than fear. In the end, it's not the unpredictability of life that defines us, but our ability to navigate those unpredictable waters with courage, acceptance, and an open heart. So, the next time you find yourself facing uncertainty, remember, it's a part of the human experience. Embrace it, learn from it, and allow it to guide you toward a life rich with possibility and meaning. Number 8. Planning for a secure future. Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, worrying about what the future holds? The uncertainty can be overwhelming, leaving you feeling anxious and unprepared. But what if I told you that planning for a secure future doesn't have to be a source of stress? Instead, it can be a powerful tool that brings peace of mind and a sense of control. Through the lens of Stoic philosophy, we can learn that thoughtful planning is not just about setting goals, it's about creating a foundation for a life well lived. In today's fast-paced world, many of us rush from one day to the next, caught up in the whirlwind of our responsibilities. It's easy to put off thinking about the future when we're busy just trying to get by, but without a plan, we may find ourselves lost, vulnerable to the uncertainties that life throws our way. A secure future doesn't happen by chance. It requires intentionality, foresight, and a commitment to making choices that align with our values and goals. Imagine your future as a garden. If you want it to flourish, you must plant seeds, nurture them, and provide the right conditions for growth. Planning is the act of planting those seeds, deciding what you want your future to look like, and taking the steps necessary to cultivate it. The Stoics understood the importance of preparation. They believed that while we can't control every circumstance, we can control our responses and the actions we take today. So, how do you begin planning for a secure future? Start by defining what security means to you. Is it financial stability, strong relationships, good health? By clarifying your vision, you can create actionable steps that lead you toward that future. Create a budget, save for emergencies, invest in your education, or strengthen your connections with loved ones. Each decision you make today lays the groundwork for a more secure tomorrow. As you plan, remember that life is unpredictable. The Stoics taught us that while we can strive for stability, we must also remain flexible in the face of change. Unexpected challenges will arise, and it's essential to adapt your plan as needed. This doesn't mean abandoning your goals. Rather, it's about recalibrating your approach and finding new ways to move forward. One practical strategy is to practice gratitude alongside your planning. Take time to reflect on what you already have, your strengths, your resources, and the support systems in your life. Acknowledging these blessings can provide a sense of security that bolsters your confidence as you navigate the uncertainties ahead. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, reminded us that the future is not in our control, but what is within our control is our preparation and our mindset. By planning thoughtfully, we empower ourselves to face whatever challenges lie ahead with resilience and courage. In the end, a secure future is not merely about avoiding risks, it's about embracing life with all its uncertainties while being prepared for what comes. By taking intentional steps today, we can cultivate a sense of security that allows us to live fully in the present, free from the paralyzing fear of the unknown. So, start planting those seeds of security today and watch as your future flourishes in ways you never imagined possible.